Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is going to be a review of Evolve 5, Danielson versus Sawa. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone and their mother expected Danielson versus Sawa to be a great match. Bryan Danielson always delivers. I mean, pretty much no surprise there. But, for those that don't know Minoru Sawa, he's pretty much, obviously he's from Japan, a little bit on the shorter side. He has a very, very extensive martial arts background. He's a former MMA fighter. Then I believe he actually appeared in the 0-1 promotion. I haven't followed 0-1 that closely. For those that don't know, 0-1, in the early 2000s, I believe Joe was there, Samoa Joe, Homicide, Low-Key, and Steve Corino were all part of that promotion. And then you had, I believe Hidaka was part of it as well. So, yeah, Gabe Sapolsky's always had a pretty close connection with the 0-1 promotion, because even in 2002, he brought some of the better-known guys into the promotion, into Ring of Honor back in 2002. So, but yeah, Sawa, I mean, this guy is, he throws a lot of lightning fast strikes, a lot of lightning fast kicks. Just very, very, he's just very smooth in the ring. You're kind of reminiscent of, I wouldn't compare him to Marufuji, but, kind of like the same way, like Marufuji and Sawa. Both of these guys just have that sort of, charisma about them. I would just say that. But yeah, Danielson versus Sawa, this match is great. For Bryan Danielson to have this kind of match while he's under AEW contract is very, very admirable. I mean, wow. He took a lot of punishment in this match. I mean, they just slapped the taste out of each other's mouths here. I mean, this is a great, great, submission-based type of match. Everything made sense. It was very, very stiff. It was just a great match, as you would expect. I would say this was better than Danielson versus Fish. And but I wouldn't say it was quite as good as Richards versus Ibushi from the first Evolve show. But definitely this is the match of the night by far for me. So let's talk about the rest of the card. We had Chuck Taylor and Mike Quackenbush. These guys opened up the show. I was kind of disappointed by this. Very, very short. This is Mike Quackenbush's singles debut in Evolve. And, this is actually going to be spoilers, so for those that don't want to be spoiled, just turn the video down. But yeah, Quackenbush actually defeated Chuck Taylor, which is kind of a big storyline thing, because, Chuck Taylor, that was part of his gimmick in Evolve, that he was, he had the best record in the company. So that's pretty much what it was. I just think these two guys, they both are pretty much, two of the biggest names from Jakara. You would just expect a better match, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. Yeah, Jimmy Jacobs and Adam Cole. This was very, very short as well. I'm not sure what happened here. I believe Adam Cole actually signed the contract to Ring of Honor like days before this match had taken place. Maybe this was kind of like a punishment for him. It was very, very short. This whole undercard, I was expecting like from top to bottom like a great show, but that really wasn't the case. This is pretty much just a great double main event with a very, very easy to sit through kind of undercard. Sami Callahan versus Drake Younger. This was very, very good. This was a very hardcore type of match, as you would expect. Drake Younger's from CZW, so you would expect a lot of big bumps in this match. He actually took a backdrop onto the basketball floor, which looked very, very brutal. Sami Callahan got busted open, so this was like a slugfest. This is really, really good stuff. And then we had a scramble match. We had Brad Allen, Johnny Gargano, Gran, Akuma, John Moxley, Frightmare, and Rich Swann. All these guys looked impressive. A very, very just a lot of fun to watch. Just a fast-paced match. Johnny Gargano actually got the win. A very exciting finish there. So Gargano was actually, I believe he's 3-1 now. He was very, very braggadocious after his victory. Mercedes, Martinez, and Awesome Kong. You'll be very, very disappointed. I'm assuming that Awesome Kong or Amazing Kong is going to be brought back to Evolve so they can continue this feud. But I was kind of disappointed. I was just expecting a great women's match here, but it's not what you got. It ended in a disqualification. Amazing Kong just snapped at the referee. And, I was just kind of disappointed with the booking direction of that match, but, we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. So the other match, we had Kyle O'Reilly versus Ricochet. Now, I've heard Gabe Sapolsky in an interview say that this is the match of the night. I didn't quite feel that way, but give Ricochet credit. He had, you could definitely argue that this is a great match. So he had the great match in PWG against El Generico, then he had the great match in Dragon Gate USA in that, the four-way Spot Fest match, which everyone's raving about. And then, this match is Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly stepped up to the plate. These two just had a great match. I mean, very, very high-flying, very, very stiff. I mean, pretty much what you would expect. I just wasn't blown away by it. You know, this was definitely not as good as Ricochet's match with El Generico, but, you know, very, very good stuff for what it was. Just not better than the main event like I heard it was. So, and then, like I said, Danielson versus Sawa. It's a great match, 4.25 stars. Definitely, like, give Bryan Danielson credit. You know, the fact that Danielson, you know, got fired, and then once he came back to the independent scene, he was cheered like crazy. You know, the guy's considered a hero. And, you know, for him to sign back with the WWE, for the WWE to take him back, and then he comes back, and he's still accepted the way he is. I mean, this would happen to nobody. If it was anyone else, they get booed out of the building. This happened to Matt Hardy. He would get booed like crazy. This even happened to Nigel. I'm not even sure if the fans would have received him this well. Not one person in the arena chanted, "You sold out." Not one person. You know, everyone was there to see Danielson. I kind of felt sorry for Sawa because I didn't feel like Sawa was kind of treated like the dream attraction that, you know, he probably should have been. But still a great match. So that's Danielson versus Sawa. I would recommend it, you know, just for the double main event. However, I wouldn't say it was the best Evolve show to date. I'm probably going to give this a 7.5. All right, and really quickly, I want to talk about some Noah stuff and some New Japan stuff. I believe it was the Joe Higuchi Memorial Show, the Noah December 5th Winter Navigation Show. I saw a couple of the matches, just want to give my thoughts on it. So this featured the big Naomichi Marufuji return. I believe Marufuji hurt himself against Omega in DDT over the summertime, so this was his big return back. And, you know, this is kind of funny because, you know, when Kenta returned, the big Kenta return match was against Marufuji. So, yeah, I mean, this match, I expected a little bit more. But it was still a good match, though. The one thing that I respect about it, and some other guys have already said this, that it just had a different feel to it. You know, the total opposite from the other match. You know, this time Kenta was kind of playing the aggressor. Kenta pretty much dictated the pace. You know, Marufuji, he wasn't as silky smooth. He just wasn't as, like, fluid as he was in the other matches that he had before he got hurt. But I still thought it was a good match, though. I'd probably stay at like a 3.75 stars. I think that's probably a fair rating for this. I just really, you know, you can't lose with these two guys. And, you know, I know these guys have competed in Ring of Honor on several occasions, so you would think that I'm biased with these guys. But these are my two favorite guys to wrestle in Japan. Two favorite wrestlers from Japan, without a doubt. I just love both of these guys. But it was an awesome spot in the match, though. I believe it was Kenta. He actually went for like a dragon suplex off the top rope. Marufuji almost fell. I think he fell on his head. The Marufuji no-sold it and gave him a Hurricane Rana. I thought that was an awesome spot. But, you know, Marufuji just didn't connect on some of his kicks with a lot of intensity. So I think that kind of hurt the match. And then Kenta pretty much got like a generic John Cena type of win. I kind of say Cena because, you know, the FU, go to sleep, you know, same kind of finish, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, I mean, I still thought it was good. So, the other match from the show, or the next match we'll talk about, is the Kings of Wrestling match. Kings of Wrestling, I think they took on Takayama. I forget who the other guy was. I don't have the match listing in front of me. It was good. It kind of, it didn't pick up until the second part of the video. But, yeah, pretty fun to watch there. A good victory for the Kings of Wrestling, who were pretty over in Japan. Now the other match, now this is a great match. This shocked the shit out of me. This is Takeshi Morishima challenging Sugiura for the GAC Heavyweight Championship. And now earlier I did a Q&A video. I talked about how Morishima kind of let himself go or whatever. I don't know. Maybe he just got into better shape since the beginning of the year. But I saw the match he had with Marufuji, which, you know, a lot of people have not talked about that match. He had a match against Naomichi Marufuji back in like maybe March or April, or maybe February, and I just wasn't impressed with his performance back earlier in the year. But wow, I mean, this guy has lost weight. He looks great. You know, he's even slimmer than he was when he first started in Ring of Honor, and I thought he was amazing in Ring of Honor. But yeah, he's definitely shed some pounds. But yeah, in this match, I don't know what they were going for on the outside. Sugiura just, I guess he was going for like a leg scissors or a Hurricane Rana, and then he just fell splat on his head. I thought he was dead. It was a very, very sickening spot, and it definitely did add to the match, though. I definitely agree with that, because I didn't really think he was going to finish the match. And then there was another spot in the match off the top rope where he landed on his head again, Sugiura. But yeah, I mean, this is a great match. You know, Sugiura's have some pretty good matches this year. I still need to see a Shiozaki match from September 26th. Oh, by the way, if anyone could find the match on YouTube without the quality sounding all distorted, please send me it in a private message. I really appreciate it because I really want to see that match. But yeah, Morishima and Sugiura, this was an amazing match. The last like 10 minutes of this match was just insane. Like tremendous fighting spirit. Like Morishima would go for like a German suplex, and then Sugiura would no sell it, and then Sugiura would just suplex him. I mean, there was just a ton of great fighting spirit, great intensity. It was just an awesome match. I really enjoyed it. So, and the other show I want to talk about is New Japan's Destruction pay-per-view. You know, I mean, I didn't think it was an amazing show. I mean, the only match I really want to talk about is Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi taking on Apollo 55, Prince Devitt, and what's the other guy? Is the other guy's name Taguchi? Yeah, I mean, this was insane. I really enjoyed this. I mean, some people complain that it's too short, but let me tell you something. Like the last 5 to 7 minutes of this match were just probably the funnest wrestling you'll see all year long. So that'd be awesome if Omega and Ibushi would come in the Ring of Honor and wrestle, you know, the Kings of Wrestling and the American Wolves. That would just be insane. So yeah, definitely check the match. I'll have the link in the description. What was the main event for that show? It was Maccabi versus Kojima. I kind of had a tough time sitting through this match. Like, I didn't really think it picked up until the last 5 minutes. The last 5 minutes were great, though. I would say that. Hiroki Goto versus Nakamura. I think they had better matches this year. I think the match they had from April was probably better than this, but was there another match on the show we're talking about? I can't really remember off the top of my head. But yeah, that's it. So yeah, pick up Evolve 5, Danielson versus Sawa. Great double main event. You know, pretty solid on the card. Nothing was bad on the show. So that's pretty much it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.